In 16 days, I saw Japan as a tourist. Alex showed me the Japan tourists never see.
Tokyo is great for a lot of things. There aren't that many Japanese things there, honestly, in my opinion. That was like a $200,000 contract.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's an expensive joke.
Yeah, it's an
Very
expensive joke.
Yeah.
The generation that has money is old, and they're not letting it go at all. So if you show those kind of old school, kind of samurai, stereotypical, like, on my honor, I'll do this, right?
Alex, in 3 words.
It's funny because there's a word for that in Japanese called jiko shoukai. So it's like self-introduction type of thing, right? But I would say, 3 words. Okay, wait a second.
Everything is in threes now.
Straightforward, honest, creative. So yeah, my name is Alexander Ito. I'm 31 years old. I half Japanese, half African American. I was born on a military base up in Tokyo, and then raised in California from the age of 4. Came back here around 2016 after university, and just decided to stay. And now I'm down here in Osaka.
You mentioned like one of those 3 words that define you. It's creativity. Creative guy. You have your notepad here. Tell me more about it.
I started sketching when I was in China back in December. It was the first time that I properly had a vacation. On my days that I wasn't hanging out with friends, I would just walk around and just people watch and then I noticed that I gravitated towards drawing. And I drew all throughout my life here and there, but I never like live sketched. And I started doing that. And then I got back from China, and I work remote. There's days that I won't see people unless I really try to, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to go outside. So as a mental health thing, I was like, you know what? Let me go for a walk. Oh, well, shit, let me bring my notebook. And then I started drawing every day. And then I would just post it. And yeah, it went from I was drawing every day and then documenting it to then doing a voiceover. And then it turned into like a little bit of a video diary for me. Because, when you work remote, when you're in charge of all of your time, right? The days do tend to blend together, especially when they get busy. So I was like, oh, like this is like a good mental reminder of what I've been doing and yada, yada, yada. The last time I posted was 4 days ago, but it wasn't necessarily me drawing. But the main reason why I kind of had a quick break, which I'll get back on it, thanks to you, thank you, is I actually had another notebook like this that I bought in China. And I was drawing a series of people on the train. So this one is from a photo walk that I went to. Oh, it's upside down, sorry.
This is so cool.
But I had a series like this that I was doing in a different notebook. And I was maybe 70% of the way through. And I had all these people on the train that I had drawn. And I lost it on the train. Oh, and and it was the first time that I had lost the drawing like that. I didn't even think I was that invested in it, because this daily practice kind of came from like, okay, it's at most 10-minute drawing. If it's good, awesome. If it's not, it was a 10-minute drawing, whatever, who cares? And then people tend to like it. I like it, it's fine, right? So it was a bit of a defense mechanism too. But after losing that, it felt like Alzheimer's a little bit, where I couldn't, because I drew those people because I thought they looked interesting. And now I couldn't remember them at all. So then that kind of bummed me out. And then as much as a lot of my, the commenters were trying to encourage me. They're like, it's art, you can make more, or good thing you recorded it, or like get back on the grind. I was like, shut up. Shut up. Because one, I didn't record it, so that just sucks. And then two, it's like, I really liked it. Like that was solely for me, which I hadn't done that in a while. So I kind of got off the horse with it. But I think it was like maybe after the first month in, I started to get comments back from people, and my algorithm started to change, where it was more creative people. It wasn't just like really sexy like dancers or anything like that, or like muscular women anymore. It was like actual like content that was encouraging and shit. So I was like, oh yeah, like that's why I did this. And like, thank you so much for meeting up with me today, because that kind of put me in the mood again to draw, because it's like, the more stuff that you put out, especially if it's genuine and it's good on top of that, right? Like the more you really do get out of social media, I think. So.
Okay, so coming back to Osaka. Yeah. What's the right way to pronounce it? Osaka. Osaka?
Osaka.
Osaka.
Yeah.
Okay.
Osaka.
Why did you move from Tokyo to Osaka?
So I came back to Japan partially to take care of my grandparents as they aged. I like to tell people that I came down here as a refugee, but I came down here to appreciate my family from a distance. Logic with staying in Japan was like, worst case scenario, if I can't find work, I'll just be an English teacher. right? which is belittling to English teachers. It's a very hard job. I lasted a week. Not great with. I like kids. I don't like brats. So after a week, I was like, I'll just find another job. And it took me several months to find another job. But from there, I somehow got into marketing because the CEO of a mid-sized marketing firm thought I was funny. So through that, I got into advertisement and consultancy a little bit, but also, production seemed like so much more fun. They're going out to shoots and locations. So I learned a few skills from them. And then I compared their paychecks with the producers that are stressed in the smoke room. I need something in the middle. So I started talking to the producers more and kind of working my way around the office.
From a creator's perspective, is it a good choice? Like, would you say that there's a lot of other creators here that, as a producer, like someone that works with creators, like, do you feel like it's a good spot? Is it a little bit more niche compared to, let's say, Tokyo, where I guess it's like a lot busier from that perspective? Like, how do you feel about it?
It's definitely much harder as a creative down here, just because there aren't that many studios, there aren't that many bigger influencers, because everything goes back to like the TV industry in Japan, and a lot of YouTubers or influencers, best case scenario, they end up becoming like a TV personality, and then that's big times for a lot of them, right?
TV studios are in Tokyo?
The majority studio, the big studios where they can do shows like every other day type of thing, that's all in Tokyo. It is very much so a matter of physical space. There isn't that much space, right? But I will say, as the years go on, I think a lot of people, visitors included, kind of recognize that Tokyo is very oversaturated. Tokyo is great for a lot of things. There aren't that many Japanese things there, honestly, in my opinion. I mean, because it's
Give me an example. What is a kind of like a Japanese thing that you feel like?
Well, I mean, think of like temples or like traditional Japanese foods. Like Tokyo is a city first and foremost, and I wouldn't change it for that. But it is a city, and like every other major global city, it's a city. Like you can kind of find you can get awesome Mexican food in Tokyo, or you can get French food in Tokyo. It's like, okay, well, cool, but it's Japan. I wouldn't compare Osaka to Tokyo. I don't think that's fair. I think Tokyo is just way bigger and just there's a lot more happening. But I would say the Kansai region of like Kobe, Kyoto, and Osaka put together is like the equivalent of Tokyo. Like there's just so much more to do within that kind of triangle, all within like an hour and a half of each other. Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. And I like, because almost you get like the best of all worlds, because Osaka known for like food, very corporate as well, like a lot of companies are based
there's a lot of companies here too.
Then you have Kyoto, which is culturally just beautiful,
super relevant, and UNESCO sites out the
exactly
ass,
and then you have Kobe as well, which I've heard, I haven't been yet, going tomorrow, but I heard is like, again, amazing place. You have the port there, so
really good jazz scene.
Nice.
I wouldn't know it, but really good jazz scene. And also the most important thing for me, the rent's just so much cheaper. So, I've been, in Japan long enough, and I get enough work now that I'll get clients that will have me come all the way out to Tokyo, which is a bit ridiculous because then, that's like 3 hours, and then that's transportation fees, for some clients. But like the costs of like a producer or a fixer or anything in Tokyo is infinitely higher just because rent's so much higher too. I have a 3-bedroom here in East Osaka, so it's about maybe 20 minutes door to door, 30 minutes door to door from where we're at right now. So around 400 to 500 pounds, I believe. Really hard to beat.
Yeah.
I know, I don't think you should dictate where you live based off of rent.
Well, it's very important,
but also,
especially nowadays. What it's like to be a freelancer in Japan as a whole. Like, do you predominantly work with clients that are abroad, here, like national?
So, I mean, my main thing is that I've primarily done like some lower tier level of marketing or creative work in that regard, and or, help assist on sets and stuff like that. But they predominantly tend to be bilingual clients, mainly because all Japanese clients rarely have the cash to make it worth it, in my opinion. Until you're doing like TV commercials or like TV shows, it really doesn't pay enough that I find it worth it. And where I find a lot of money to be made is the fact that I can speak Japanese fluently. My reading and writing is very poor, mind you, but I can speak fluently. And I'm a little bit old school in the sense that I prefer phone calls, which a lot of the older men tend to appreciate. I like it because there's no paper trail. So if I promise something, I'm like, it's not in the contract.
Here's some advice.
It's not in the contract. I don't know what you're talking about. You know you should get it written. we say stuff all the time. What are you talking about? You know.
I love this.
But yeah, no, a lot of my clients, if they are Japanese, they need help working with foreigners, or vice versa. My biggest project that I had last year, that was basically a full-time job, was I was working with the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I was doing all the digital marketing around the Netherlands Pavilion at the World Expo. Didn't know Dutch. Told them I can't speak Japanese, I can't read Japanese too well, but my pitch to them was I know that Dutch people are very honest. I'm the most honest Japanese person I know. They'll say one thing to you, I will tell you exactly what they actually mean. So there's a lot of, reading in between the lines and knowing when a client is trying to say something, know, and I think I've been around long enough that, word gets around about how I work and stuff too. So people that work with me, if they want to work with me again, they tend to like me a lot. So, and I get jobs that way,
You mentioned, being honest, transparent a few times. Is it a trait between Japanese?
I think saying honest is pretty difficult in Japanese, just because English versus Japanese, Japanese would be considered a very high context language. So there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of reading into it. Despite our age being very similar, you're still older. So I would have to use certain honorifics to you, that kind of stuff, right? Versus English is extremely low context. So what you say is technically what you're supposed to be meaning, right? It can be very high context, depending on the situation. Let's say you're with a group of execs and they are saying one thing, but that they don't mean that, right?
Okay.
It's more like that. And in terms of quality service and having traveled a little bit, I think just Japanese service in general is just higher because of various traditions that were handed down, because it was very systematic. Two, a lot of it is you're supposed to take pride in your work. Now, whether or not they do, who knows? But I think that's a person-to-person type of thing, right? I know McDonald's is very good at instilling pride at working at McDonald's. My first corporate job out of university I was a manager at Hollister. I was an assistant manager at Hollister. And if they worked previously at a Uniqlo, Disneyland, or McDonald's, we automatically hired them because their training is that high level.
Really?
But they worked at a McDonald's. That means they were really thoroughly trained to have pride, to be able to smile regardless of whatever, because it's a hard job. And I think the corporate and then also the brand of that, just the brand of McDonald's, they know that this is, a position that not everyone can do type of thing, right? Going back to the honesty thing though, I think that because it's so, a lot of Japanese culture revolves around matching the other person, or not being a burden, not being in their way type of thing, right? I think from a foreigner's perspective, it's not honest at all. It almost feels like lying, just because they don't want to be rude or they don't want to offend. So they will try to match as much as possible, but no one will. It's very rare for them to say no about anything. But they'll say, but they will mean it. Hey, can I get this coffee with this modification? Obviously, coffee shop is maybe. Let's say hamburgers. Can I get an extra slice of cheese on this cheeseburger? We can't really do that. Now that'd be in America, right? If they say it like that, but in Japan, they'd be that's a little difficult.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. I see.
Versus anywhere else, it's okay, is it difficult, or is it difficult because it's difficult, or you can't do it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's less controversial in a way.
Exactly. They're not trying to, because from one person's perspective, you'd be they can't do that because that's not on the menu. If that was on the menu, you could do that, but that's not an option on the menu. So why would you ask?
Yeah.
That could be an aggressive way of going at it, right? But they're oh no, that would be pretty interesting if we could. They don't care, obviously, right?
Would it be the same if you were to approach them, like Japanese to Japanese?
Japanese to Japanese. If anything, I think Japanese to Japanese, and you do that, you can really kind of be a jerk in that sense, because you can manipulate the situation. Hey, I know that I'm the customer.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, can you actually do this or not right now? I'm not asking you if it's difficult. You can go about it that way. And then that goes back to again, what is your stance? Is this a very wealthy person? Is it clearly a wealthy person? Is it a dignitary? Is it someone that like, you know, like I don't think classism exists in like a very explicit way, like in some countries, but it is, you know, it's when you see someone wearing all brands versus no brands, or like the nameless brands type of thing. Like if you know, you know, and there is a lot of nuance like that.
I see.
I will say that generationally, I feel like it's changing pretty significantly. A lot of the younger generation kind of has seen that system and that way of communication, and I don't think they really appreciate it because it doesn't benefit the youth in any way. You know, it just usually gets you talked down to. But it is better to know that system and to know the nuances, and then you can better navigate it. Like for me, I had a client once that meeting was going well. It was for a bid. At the very end, I think one of the older men just wanted to show off a little bit, right? She said in English, she said, "Mr. Alex," everyone else has been calling me Ito the whole time, right? Yeah. "Mr. Alex, did you know Kyoto is capital of Japan, right?" I said, and then in Japanese, straight face, I said, "Yeah, but now it's Tokyo, huh?" Huh. The room went dead silent, and then we didn't get that bid because I was just supposed to go with the bid. Clearly, he wanted to everyone else, it was very obvious that he just wanted to show off. He's an old guy. He's an old board member that didn't do anything throughout the whole meeting, right? So he wanted to show off his English practice or whatever. But I insulted him. I made fun of him. I didn't realize that I did. And then my superior, he told me, like, "We just lost that bid because of you." And I was like, "You always told me to be myself." And he said, "Not around Kyoto people."
and it's something as little as this could lose the bid.
That was like a $200,000 contract.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's an expensive joke.
yeah, it was an
Very
expensive joke.
Yeah. But on the upside, it was a good joke. Like, most people.
It was a good lesson. It was a good lesson. Yeah.
Good lesson learned. Okay, back to work. What would be different, let's say, when you work with Japanese versus, you know, international? Exactly what you said, right? Like things like that, you would have to know beforehand, or at least experience it.
A huge difference that a lot of international firms and just individuals coming into Japan that they don't understand is just bureaucracy. Just how many meetings it'll take, both officially and unofficially, to get to the invoice or to the estimate. It takes so long depending on the type of industry project and then how much, you know, the project is going for, right? And you will almost never get 50% upfront. You might not even get the money until completion a month after. That's like pretty typical, which is it's insane. It's insane.
If you are doing it yourself, you have to kind of like cover everything, or like 50% at least. It's still very expensive.
Still very expensive.
It's a lot of like, you have to rely on the fact that, you know, there consistently flow of like work. Because otherwise you end up in a situation where even now, let's say you get this amazing big project. You can't even cover it.
Yeah, it doesn't pay you for 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it sucks.
Wow.
That's why there aren't that many startups. I mean, they're starting to get more startups in Japan, but like, I mean, there's a reason why everyone says that Japan takes so long to get business done, because it takes a long time to get people to trust you, and it takes a lot of initial investment on like the part that is selling. It takes a lot of investment on the seller to be like, "Hey, this is gonna work out." This. And again, I've been here 10 years now. I've been doing freelance properly for the last 2 years, but like somewhat improperly, just kind of all over the place, figuring it out for like the last 5 or 6 years now, right? And it is just doing it long enough, taking the hits, being read some months, and being like, "Hey, come on, you've worked with me now, right?" Yeah. Like it's pretty hard to get into and just be like, "Okay, where's my money?"
Okay, that leads me to the next question. Exactly what you said now. Come on, we've worked together before. So once you win a client, is it almost like for life unless you make a bad joke, or?
I mean, it depends on the scale. For me, because I work on such a smaller scale, typically, and it's a lot of I'll scratch my back, you scratch yours. Like I will always, if a friend refers me or like another client refers me, I'll be like, "Hey, you know what? It's the first time I'm working with you. I get that it's nervous. I'll do it at like 15% off this time. Guarantee me 2 more jobs down the line if you like it. How about that, right? Or pay me 50% up front this time. The second job, I'll do it like 30% off. Like I'll eat the cost the second time. You know, just to build that trust. Because at the end of the day, companies are people first."
That is golden advice, man.
Well, I mean, sure.
So good. Yeah.
I just need to be playing with bigger players. But no, but like, you know, at the end of the day, it is always just connections and then being genuine, because it's money at the end of the day, and it'll always come back if you make good products, if you make good relationships, right? And Japan is really much so a lot about relationships, because the generation that has money is old, you know. and they're not letting it go at all. So if you show those kind of old school, kind of samurai, stereotypical, like, you know, on my honor, I'll do this, right? I have one example. I used to work at an esports startup, so we would do the event organizations for various esports titles and stuff. One of the events that we were doing was we were looking for an idol, so like a new singer contest type of thing, right? Totally left it in charge with this one dude, and it was we put up 15 grand, and then the other record label put up 15 grand, right? And he was supposed to be in charge. He's like, oh, I have experience like promoting clubs, and I can get people, and da 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 da. They left it all in his hand. Spent 6 months. Okay, well, the auditions are coming up. We only have 3 people set up for the auditions. What the hell's going on, right? Is it the 3 final contestants, or this? I know, is it the 3 people that are auditioned? That guy just disappears all of a sudden, and now we only have 3 people, right? It's a shit show. Yeah. Right. Basically, he somehow spent 30 grand worth of money doing God knows what, and then just quit and left. So he probably pocketed a good chunk of the money, right? It's totally our fault because it was our guy, right? Yeah. So now I have to go to apologize for something. I have nothing. I was the branding manager. That has nothing to do with me, right? But I go with my CEO, and then we see them, the 2 other board members of the record label. They're like, "What are you going to do about this? Like, what the hell is this?" And I looked at my CEO, and he and I were friends prior to him hiring me, so there was a little bit of that. But I was like, "Hey, are we going to go under if we pay them back?" He's like, "No, but it will be rough. Like, we'll all have to take like a little bit of a cut, from our pay." Yeah. And I was like, "Okay, sorry, can we pay you back in monthly installments?"
Like a refund or so.
Let us pay you back at least like your half of the 15 grand, right? Okay. Because in the grand scheme of things, especially for a company, that's nothing. For a small start, it's huge. But I was like, because they're a record label, like they're connected to all the other record labels and other music events. You want
them to be like,
and we're an event company, right? So I'm like, I am so sorry that this happened. It was our stupidity and our youth. We trusted him. It didn't work out. We get that you trusted him too. Yeah. But like, he was our guy. I'm so sorry for this, right? Blow in my head, and there's proper ways to do that, right? Take off my hat. I was like, I'm so sorry about this. This won't happen again. Please let us at least pay you back. I'm so sorry that it'll have to be in installments, but can we work something out? My CEO was furious, but obviously he didn't say anything because I'm already talking, right? And then that gesture alone, the older guys are like, shit happens. I was young once, and I totally get it. Like, money is just money at the end of the day, but we were really wondering how you guys were going to react to something like this. Okay, let's talk about the next project, how we're going to avoid this in the future. Like, how are we going to have these things? Yeah, but I mean, it's good save, but also it's just genuine. It's like,
like, again, bringing back to the idea of like being honest.
Well, because I fucked up. I would hate if that happened to me. Yeah,
Yeah, but again, I guess with the experience, you realize, like, these things happen.
These things happen. Yeah.
How do you manage and how do you keep good relationship with creators?
A lot of that, I think, comes down to knowing what your personal capacity is as a producer, as a creator, as a whatever, as a person. I think is also important. Like, how much time it's even with friends, right? Like, how much time am I willing to put into this person? How much time can I? And especially that with like relationships, whether that be with friends and clients, I'm always reaching out, and just trying to be friendly. Be like, hey, I saw your content, looks really good. Or I never try to take. I never try like, hey, can you help me with this? Never try to do that. And I always try to encourage and appreciate. Be like, hey, I really like your stuff. And I think you should only do that like when you mean it as well too. Like, I don't think you should be telling everyone, oh yeah, your content's so great. Well, you don't feel it. Everyone knows. Like, they know. Like, and it's like, hey, really cool stuff that you're making. I think I have some clients that would be interested in something like this. Would you be interested? Can I connect you guys? Yeah. And they'd be like, oh yeah, sure, thanks. But I'm bringing them work. But besides that, I'm not trying to fluff them up. I'm not trying to, I think that's a daily practice. So you just gotta, when you're talking to people, making eye contact. If you're being genuine, I think people can feel it. For me, it's a lot of reaching out, maintenance, trying your best to remember names. I'm terrible at remembering names. But I'll also just, when you fuck up, showing that you can fuck up too, Because working with people that never fuck up, or working with people that don't expect you to ever fuck up. Yeah, it's like the moment you do, they pounce on you. It's like, oh, well, shit, man, this isn't a relationship that's going to stand regardless. Like, I don't want to work with this. Like, you don't want to work with me. I don't want to work with you. Like, let's just stop it here. Yeah. Like, I always try to communicate, like, do you know how you fuck up? Or do you know how you get mad? You know, because, like, I know that I tend to procrastinate on certain projects to the last minute. No news is bad news for me. I know for some people, it's like, no news is good news. But for me, like, I'll tell people, like, hey, if you don't, I'm not going to reach out to you to ask you what more I need to do. And when I do, if you don't tell me more very explicitly if I'm doing a good job, or if you tell me I'm doing a good job when I'm not doing anything, then that makes me a little nervous. And then I start to, you know, that doesn't work for me. If I'm doing a good job, great. If I'm not, I really need you to tell me. Because as much as it is my job to figure it out, I'm already telling you how I'm reading the situation. So what more else can I do besides that, right? Yeah.
And do you get that, you know, transparency loop here in Japan? Like
it's harder to get it, but I try my best to set the environment that, like, hey, you're working with me, I'm working with you. This is how I communicate. How do you communicate? And I try to explain that and set it up in a way that's palatable to Japanese people. Yeah. Even with friends, like, if I felt like a interaction between people, or, you know, or shit, did I say something wrong? Like, yo, did I say something wrong? And for that, I think you need mentors. I think you need people that you really trust to give you honest feedback. Because, you know, honesty is, like, wanted, but it's not, I think it's something that needs to be earned by a lot of people.
Yeah.
For me, I benefit from being honest as much as I have been for so long that I've been told that I make great second impressions.
Great second impression. I'm definitely making a very good first impression.
Thank you so much.
We should meet again. I'm looking forward to
Thank you so much. No, but, you know, for first impressions, for some people, I tend to be almost maybe too open, or I'll answer, or, right? And because I always will try to be like, hey, this is an invitation to be open, but you don't have to be. But a lot of people do also, especially more masculine men, tend to be like, just telling me all of his secrets. And I was like, well, I don't have any secrets. Like, I don't benefit from keeping anything from you, but I don't also lose anything from not. So
it's really good to have, like, those lines established so early, like, in terms of, like, what do you expect from the relationship, from a working perspective.
Yeah, like, I've told, you know, different clients in the past, like, hey, like, especially if it's creative projects, like, my name is not going anywhere on this. I really think it's cool what you guys are doing, but I don't have any personal investment in this, emotionally or otherwise, right? You got to pay me to care. And if you pay me enough what I'm asking for, then I feel like you respect me. And now I'm going to try. Otherwise, I'm doing the bare minimum to not riot. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know, it's not even your money that it's very rare that the client is the actual person that's paying me. So I'm like, don't care too much, guys. like remember, like, you want someone more like me. At the end of the day, the older I get, the older everyone else gets. They would rather prefer someone like me that knows their capacity and is going to do what they say they're going to do, as opposed to someone that over delivers, is so emotionally invested into it, and then they crash out because, like, they change the color gradient of, like, a logo or something like that, you know, which happens a lot. Which is also why I do like to manage those people. Like, hey, I know that you picked your colors. I'll talk to the client. Hey, whatever colors you wanted are really ugly, but, like, this is the reason, How about if we make it cheaper? And can we keep those colors? They're like, yeah, sure, right. I'm like, everyone's win-win, cool. Guys, we're not doctors, okay? Like, let's calm down. But no one's gonna die, We're not firefighters. Like, let's breathe. There's always a solution here,
By the way, really cool pen. I like it.
No, this is my favorite pen. I recommend everyone get it. It's so
What brand is it?
It's Uniball.
Uniball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uniball 1.
Nice.
Recommend it to everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again. It was an absolute pleasure.
Arigato.